So let's say this is the now, right now, present time. Then to the right we would have the future, and to the left we would have the past. I'm going to turn this around for a moment. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, where you want to be is here, right now, in the present time. And what you want to do is you want to focus on creating your future. Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But that focus is being distracted by things that hang around from the past. Things like this. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So one of the first steps, not the very first steps, but one of the first steps that we do is we help you to identify the different areas of responsibilities that you have. Some people call them hats. You know? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not only do we help you identify what the different hats are that you have, but we also clearly define what the purpose for each hat is. So there's no more gray area. You know exactly what this hat is supposed to do and what it is supposed to accomplish. And in addition to that, we usually identify the one or the other hat that you should be wearing, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You may be doing one or two of the functions, but you're not doing it knowingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when that is done, the next thing is to sort everything that's over here by hat or throw it out. That's it. It's either sorted by hat or it gets thrown out. And by the time that's done, there's nothing laying around anymore. All that get your desk, the chairs, everything is free. Everything you see right now over here is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Sounds good.
Right. And then we have, by the way, we have a big trash can over here. A lot of stuff disappears in there too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Now, once this is done, the concept of hats starts to become even more clear to you, and the importance of how to use that to align all the functions of your business through these roles that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Starts to make even more sense. And because that happens, we now take a look at your filing system, and we adjust your filing system to the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
That includes your hard copy files, that includes your computer files, your document files in the computer, and that includes your emails. So now everything is based on one single concept, which makes it very easy for you not only to know where to file something, but it also makes it very easy for you to know where to find something. It should never take you more than 5 seconds to find something or to be able to know where to file something in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would that save you some time?
Oh, a lot.
Exactly. So that's getting done. And once that's done, the next step is we take up one hat at a time, and what is accumulated in there, we process it. One hat at a time. Multitasking doesn't work. Never has, never will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Can you imagine you went to school and you had, at the beginning of the class, you had a school teacher come and said, okay, now we're doing mathematics. And 5 minutes into the mathematics class, he walks out, another teacher comes in, so now we're doing English. Right? And 10 minutes into that, another teacher comes and says, now we're doing history. Can you imagine how much he would have learned?
Not much.
Not much, right? Same thing with processing. If you can focus just on one specific hat and the actions of that hat, you get a lot more accomplished than when you have to switch one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that gets done. Now, in addition to that, while you start working this, all through this, you start making decisions on making changes, making improvements, right? And whenever you make one of those decisions, I will ask you to formulate a policy for that. If you need help with the formulation, I'll help you with it, but that's no problem. But it's your policy, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And once you have formulated the policy, then I'll ask you to take a look and identify what are the benefits that you will have from that policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you write that down too. And then again, one more time, I'll have you look at the policy itself, I have you look at the benefits, and I will ask you one more time. Have you decided that that is your policy, and have you adopted it? And your response has to be pretty enthusiastic. Oh, yes, I do. Right? If you go, well, yes, I guess, oh, no, there's something awfully wrong and we need to fix that. Okay? And the reason for doing this is simply this. Any habit that you have right now, underlying that habit is a decision. Everything started with a decision. Even if the decision was not to make the decision, that's still a decision. So every habit that you ever made, put into place, there was a decision that started it. And in order to change that habit or to establish a new habit, the more clearly defined that decision, the more focused that decision, the more enthusiastic that decision, the more powerful it is. Make sense? Okay? And that's why we're doing this.
Oh, I see.
Okay? Good. Now, having gone this far, you find yourself very quickly in your day-to-day area. You adopt what you already have put over there into your day-to-day operations, and you add a system to it that does all the remembering for you. The less you have to remember, the less you have to keep in your head, the more you can focus on what you really need to do. Does that make sense? Right? The system is very simple, very effective, as long as you work it. Okay? And it's easy to do. You also add to it a whole system of planning and planning steps. Right? And once this is all accomplished and everything is in place, then as a last step, what we do is we take a look where you want to be 5 years from now. 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 1 month. And we put together an action plan, not a business plan, an action plan. What are the actions that need to happen to get you to your 5-year plan on a monthly basis? Right? And out of this come 2 additional planning tools for you. The first one is a weekly planning checklist. And by the end of the week, the last day of the week, you pull out that checklist, and for about an hour, hour and a half, you work on this. You just take step by step that you have figured out what are the steps are, and do each one of the steps. And by the time you're done with it, you know exactly what you're going to do the following week. Okay? And because things can change, right, you do need a daily checklist also. And you pull that out by the end of the day, review it, adopt the changes that happened, include what needs to be included and what have you, right? And all of these steps help you with one thing, and that is stay focused on where you want to be 5 years from now. Make sense? Okay. So what happens by now is this. You're now totally here. You have completely eliminated distractions over there, and you're totally focusing on one thing only, and that is to create your future. But you do it with a lot more clarity, with a lot more direction, with a lot more intention. And because you do it with all of these additional boosts behind you, the results are that much bigger.
Wow.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's what we do.
Awesome.
That's what I help you to do.
Very good.
Good. So,
Do we start now?
absolutely. No problem. First, I need some money though.